Good morning, children. Sai Ram. Today we are going to start with active English. Today we are going to do two chapters together, that is chapter number 25 and chapter number 26. So be attentive. Now we are going to start with chapter number 25. Okay? Now for that we are going to read the heading. Okay? So what we are going to do in the exercise. So for that we have to read the heading. So what is the heading? Write out the sentences adding one of these words. So what are the words? Always, never, sometimes, often. Now always means at all times. What is never? Never means at no times in the past. Sometimes means occasionally. And what is often? Often means frequently or many times. Now this sentence means the question here is, you have to, now this is the sentence in front of you. A donkey has 4 legs. So what are you going to use for this? Always, never, sometimes or often. A donkey has 4 legs. So which word are you going to use? A donkey never has 4 legs. No, you can't do this. You cannot use this. A donkey sometimes has 4 legs. No. A donkey often has 4 legs. No. A donkey always has 4 legs. So you have to use the proper word from the bracket and you are going to write the sentence using that word. A donkey always has 4 legs. So this is the correct one. Okay. Let's see the answer. A donkey always has 4 legs. Now see the second one. We come to school by aeroplane. Do you come to school by aeroplane? No. So we never come to school by aeroplane. We never come to school by aeroplane. We never come to school by we never come to school by aeroplane. Next one, we draw pictures in our drawing book. Now, which word are you going to take? Yes, we always draw pictures in our drawing book. We always draw pictures in our drawing book. Now, see the fourth one. The teacher reads to us. Now, if your teacher is always reading to you, you can use always. If the teacher often reads to you, you can use often. So, the answer is the teacher often reads to us. The teacher often reads to us. What is the fifth one? We go to bed at night. I know you always go to bed at night. So the answer will be yes, we always go to bed at night. We always go to bed at night. Now, second exercise. Join these sentences using so, dash, that. Notice that very is left out. Now, children, we have already done this exercise in our last chapter and I know it is very easy for you. So, you are going to cut out very, means you're not going to use very and you're going to, instead of very, what you're going to use? Yes, instead of very, you're going to use so. And you're going to join the sentence, means you're going to make one sentence and instead of that full stop, you're going to put that. Yes. So it is very hot, even the road is melting. So instead of very, you're going to use so. So it is so hot today that the road is melting. Now you're not going to use even, you're going to cut it because we are using that. Okay. It is so hot today that the road is melting. Let's see the answer. It is so hot today that the road is melting. Now see the second one. He was very tall. He could touch the top of the door. So what is the answer over here? Yes. He was so tall that he could touch the top of the door. He was so tall that he could touch the top of the door. Now see the third one. She was very tired. She could not keep her eyes open. She was so tired that she could not keep her eyes open. She was so tired that she could not keep her eyes open. Now see the fourth one. The box was very heavy. No one could lift it. The box was so heavy that no one could lift it. The box was so heavy that no one could lift it. Fifth one. The window was very high. No one could see out of it. The window was so high that no one could see out of it. The window was so high that no one could see out of it. Now see the sixth one. She was very clever. She was top of the class every time. She was so clever that she was top of the class every time. She was so clever that she was top of the class every time. Now see the seventh one. He was very weak. He could not get up from the bed. He was so weak that he could not get up from the bed. He was so weak that he could not get up from the bed. Eighth one. She was very sad. She could not stop crying. She was so sad that she could not stop crying. She was so sad that she could not stop crying. Now children, we will start activity. The sky is blue. Yes, come on. Yes, the sky is often blue. I walk to school. Now, if you always walk to school, you're going to write, I always walk to school. If you sometimes walk to school and sometimes go by bus, so you are going to write, I sometimes walk to school. Okay, but here I have written, I always walk to school because I always walk to school. So, I always walk to school. A bird sits on a tree. Yes, a bird often sits on a tree. A bird often sits on a tree. The sun is hot. Very good. The sun is always hot. There are 7 days in a week. Very good. There are always 7 days in a week. See the answer? It's there in front of you. The sun is hot. The sun is always hot. There are 7 days in a week. There are always 7 days in a week. And this one, join the sentences using so that. Notice that very is left out. The headmaster was pleased. He gave the whole school a holiday. Yes, come on. Now here, very is not written. So, what we are going to use? So, yes, we are going to use so. So, the headmaster was so pleased. In the question, very is not there. The headmaster was pleased. So, we are going to write, the headmaster was so pleased that he gave the whole school a holiday. the headmaster was so pleased that he gave the whole school a holiday. Now see the second one. He was very hungry. He ate 3 plates of rice. Okay, he was so hungry that he ate 3 plates of rice. He was so hungry that he ate 3 plates of rice. Third one, he was very strong. He could carry 3 other boys. Sorry. He was very strong. He could carry 3 other boys. So what are you going to write? He was so strong that he could carry 3 other boys. He was so strong that he could carry 3 other boys. The dress was very pretty. Everyone liked it. Yes, the dress was so pretty that everyone liked it. The dress was so pretty that everyone liked it. Now children, we are going to start with chapter number 26. Rewrite the sentences using should, for, ought to, and ought to for should. Now children, should is a verb. We use should mainly to give advice or make recommendations or talk about obligation. Now to express something that is probable. Now here, for example, if I say he should stop eating fast food. Sorry, he should stop eating fast food. So should. Now should and ought to have the same meaning. So if we use should, if we use ought to, they both are same. Now here what we are going to do? We are going to change the word. So wherever there is written ought to, we are going to change it into should, and wherever there is should, we are going to change it as ought to. Okay, and we are going to rewrite the sentence. So see the first one. I think you ought to stop now. Now you can see the changed color. So you are going to write, now here in the question there is ought to. Now instead of ought to, you are going to change it into should. So see the question. I think you ought to stop now. I think you should stop now. I think you should stop now. So instead of ought to, we have changed into should. Ought to into should, and should into ought to. Okay. So I think you should stop now. Now see the second one. I don't think you should tell her about it. So I don't think you ought to tell her about it. I don't think you ought to tell her about it. In the question, I don't think you should tell her about it. In the answer, I don't think you ought to tell her about it. Now see the third one. We ought to brush our teeth twice a day. In the question, we are going to change into should. We should brush our teeth twice a day. We should brush our teeth twice a day. Fourth one, they ought not to make so much noise. Now where there is ought not to, what we are going to write? Should not. Where there is should not, we are going to write ought not to. Okay. Now here, they ought not to make so much noise. So they should not make so much noise. They should not make so much noise. Fifth one. This school should have a bigger playground. This school ought to have a bigger playground. This school ought to have a bigger playground. See the sixth one. We ought not to put hard things where children can reach them. So in the answer what we are going to write? Yes, should not. We should not put hard things. See, now this other sentence is as it is. We are not going to change anything. We should not put hard things where children can reach them. We should not put hard things where children can reach them. Now this is other exercise. Join the sentences. Means we are going, two sentences are there. We are going to join it and make it one. So how we are going to do? She is looking for a book. She wants to read it. She is looking for a book. She wants to read it. Now here we are going to start with she is looking for a book. Now we are not going to use the pronoun again. So we are not going to use she wants to. Okay. So she is looking for a book to read. Now we are not going to write it also because we have already written a book. Now there are two sentences. So it is like she wants to read it. But here we are not going to use it again because we have already in the sentence we are talking about a book. So she is looking for a book to read. She is looking for a book to read. Now see the other one. Will you lend me your pair of scissors? I want to cut this piece of paper. Now, will you lend me your pair of scissors? Now see the first sentence. It is same. But the other one, we are going to join it. So, we are not going to use I want. What I am going to use is, I am going to start it with to cut this piece of paper. So, will you lend me a pair of scissors to cut this piece of paper? Will you lend me a pair of scissors to cut this piece of paper? Now see the third one. Here is some money. You can buy some ice cream for us. Here is some money for you to buy some ice cream for us. Now you can change into for you to buy. You can buy. So I changed into for you to buy. Here is some money for you to buy some ice cream for us. Here is some money for you to buy some ice cream for us. Fourth one, I want a match. I want to light a fire. So, I want a match will remain same. Now, I want will not repeat again. I want a match to light a fire. I want a match to light a fire. Fifth one, he wants 10 paise. He wants to buy a stamp. He wants 10 paise. He wants to buy a stamp. Now children, when you are joining the sentence, you are not going to repeat pronoun again and again. So you are going in the start of the sentence, you have used once, so you will not repeat it. So he wants 10 paise to buy a stamp. He wants 10 paise to buy a stamp. Sixth one, here is a pen, you can write with it. Here is a pen for you to write. Here is a pen for you to write. Now children, we will start with our activity. Rewrite the sentences using should for ought to and ought to for should. He ought to speak more slowly. Yes, he should speak more slowly. Very good. See the second one, children should not play on the street. Children ought not to play on the street. Children ought not to play on the street. Now yes, both the answers are there in front of you. He ought to speak more slowly. He should speak more slowly. Children should not play on the street. Children ought not to play on the street. Third one, we ought not to throw rubbish on the ground. Yes, we should not throw rubbish on the ground. We should not throw rubbish on the ground. Now see the fourth one, we should help other people when we can. Yes, we ought to help other people when we can. We ought to help other people when we can. Thank you.